Quality management systems broken down into a 10-step framework that you can use to create or improve your quality management system and your current cost of quality. Quality management systems at its highest level is a series of processes that may or may not include technology, but that are utilized to be able to improve and impact your current cost of quality. Step number one is all about understanding your current cost of quality. Your current cost of quality breaks out into two key categories. The first one being cost of good quality, or also referred to as prevention costs, and cost of poor quality, also referred to as defects or nonconformances. When we talk about cost of good quality, we are talking about things like a quality assurance department, a quality assurance inspection or auditing, or some other larger auditing process that relates to maintaining your quality level. When we're talking about the cost of poor quality, what we're really talking about is the cost to rework or remake defects or nonconformances. So think about the labor and or material associated with reworking or remaking a particular product or order. One more layer of your current cost of quality that I like to talk about is your KPIs, or key performance indicators. And I like to break that out into three main KPIs. Number one being, what's the total dollar amount as it relates to your current cost of quality? Number two, what is the percentage of revenue? So you take that total dollar amount for your cost of quality, divide it by your revenue, and that is your percentage of revenue as it relates to your cost of quality. The third KPI that I like to look at is internal versus external, and this relates to the cost of poor quality that I mentioned earlier. So I like to keep track of what defects or nonconformances were started internally or caught internally versus what defects or nonconformances were customer generated or caught by the customer. Step number two is all about defining our goal as it relates to our current cost of quality. We want to understand, what are we trying to impact? Are we trying to impact the overall dollar amount, the percentage amount, the number of defects, the number of external defects or nonconformances? Are we trying to impact the internal number of defects or nonconformances? Are we trying to create a quality assurance program, process, department? We need to understand what is our exact goal as it relates to our current cost of quality. And the other important thing to remember is that when you're creating this goal, make sure that it is a SMART goal. And what I mean by that it is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Step number three is all about assembling the team. Now, ideally, you want to make sure there is representation from the entire organization. What I mean by that is you want to have people at different levels of leadership. You also want to make sure that the work centers or departments, or depending on exactly what our goal is, but you want to make sure that there is a broad representation of people on the team. And that's because everybody brings a unique perspective, their own insights from what they see as it relates to the overall order cycle that we are talking about to be able to improve our current cost of quality. Step number four is all about identifying the problem. This is where we need to get very specific. We want to be talking about specific defects, specific nonconformances. We want to understand all of the different aspects of exactly what problem we are trying to solve in order to be able to achieve our goal that we lined out in the previous steps. Step number 5 is all about identifying the root cause of the problem that we are working on solving. My favorite root cause analysis tool happens to be a 5Y. There are other root cause analysis tools out there as well. So the tool is not as important as identifying what the root cause happens to be. The thing to remember with root cause analysis is we are trying to identify what system failed. Step number 6, we want to be identifying potential corrective and also preventative actions and measures. So be thinking about if there is a current system in place that has failed, how can we make a change to that system? Is there something within the series of processes that we need to change that will implement a preventative measure? Is there a technology that we could introduce into that particular system that failed to be able to, again, address the root cause and also become a preventative measure? Or is this a situation where we need to go and create a brand new system that, again, may or may not include technology? Step number 7 is all about implementing the corrective and preventative actions and measures that were discussed in the previous step. Now, the things to keep in mind at this point is that we want to base our decision on the experience of the team, so the insights that the team you've assembled is sharing with you. You also want to look for preventative and corrective actions that are easily implemented, that have a low cost or what I call low barrier to entry. The reason for this is because if you look at, let's say, identifying a new technology that maybe needs to be implemented as a part of this particular series of processes to create the system, or an individual process, oftentimes that can lead to significant delays. And the longer it takes to implement some sort of corrective or preventative action, the longer your exposure is. And again, the more risk you face in terms of not impacting your cost of quality. Step number 8 is about measuring the impact of the corrective and preventative actions and measures that we just outlined. You need to be able to audit and inspect what is happening with the proposed temporary changes that you've made to this particular process or system to understand, are we moving the needle? Are we moving towards our goal of impacting our cost of quality? Step number 9 is all about ensuring you document any of the process and ultimately system changes that you make from the previous steps. Now, you only want to do this if you have measured the impact and that you are sure you have addressed the root cause of the problem we were trying to address in previous steps. This is also the point in time you want to ensure people that directly touch and that indirectly touch that particular process have been brought up to speed, have been retrained. And one thing I like to add into this is to make sure during that training and bringing people up to speed that you're actually going through and giving them a high level review of all of the different steps that you've been to get to this point. That's especially important if they're not on the team that is helping to make these decisions and to drive these changes. The last step in your quality management system consists of 2 main things. Number 1, sharing results across your organization. So chances are you're not going to be able to have everybody across your organization participating in your quality management system. So as these events take place, as systems are created, as systems are improved. You want to make sure that you share those results, that you share the impact that that team is having across the organization. The other important aspect is to make sure that you are congratulating the team that is doing the heavy lifting, that is adding their insights, that is creating these systems, that's having a real impact on your current cost of quality. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to continue seeing more videos about continuous improvement and creating business systems that free you to operate with excellence. You may also want to check out my video on the 6 key business systems you need to operate with excellence.